It's just really painful. Sitting here for 2 hours doing this paper, like, is boring as hell. Oh, I'm just so not in the mood for this. So this week I'm going to be doing a study, like, revision day with me, like day in the life kind of thing. Today is Friday and my first exam is on Monday, so we really need to get like intense revising, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a first year student and I'm doing econ and maths. My exam on Monday is a maths exam, so I think today I'm gonna do all math. I think my most requested video is just anything to do with like revision or like studying or just academic stuff, but I don't know, I just get a bit scared to film this sort of thing because I feel like I don't want to give like the wrong advice. I'm going to show you today like how I revise and like what works for me, but I'm also going to talk about other techniques that I've tried and other things that didn't work for me but they might work for you, so you can try them out. I think it takes like time to find like your best way to revise. This might not even be the best way, like maybe in 3 years I'll be like, oh, that wasn't it, but I think it's working right now. I feel like I'm more qualified to talk about like A-levels and GCSEs because I've already like completed that, so I'll probably talk about that a bit later. I'm going to talk about stuff like throughout this, I don't know, basically show you what I'm doing today, and I'm also going to talk a lot about like what I do for GCSEs and A-levels and like maybe some motivation and like tips and stuff to help any of you out that are doing those, or if you're doing like university exams as well. So I've just woken up, it's like 8:15, 8:30, and I start revision at 9, or that's what I've been doing. For GCSEs and A-levels I think I started at 8, but I like to start revision in the morning, like relatively early. Like, this is one of the things that you need to like see if that works for you or not. I like it because it gives me like the whole day to do the revision, so I can have long breaks and finish not early, but like I'll still have like a few hours in the evening to like chill, which I like. I don't want to be like revising and then just go to bed and wake up like late and then revise again, you know. But a lot of people's like brains aren't like the best in the morning, so I also think it's important for me like when I get up to like, I don't know, obviously like I wash my face, brush my teeth and all that, but I also like make sure I eat breakfast. I stay in comfy clothes but like kind of get ready as if it was a normal day, because I think revision season can be a bit depressing, like just sitting in your room all day revising gets a bit like monotonous and dull. I try to like, you know, wake myself up, feel like a real person. I'm gonna start revision in like 20 minutes. I'm not gonna have my phone with me when I'm actually revising because that doesn't work for me. I know some people can like go on their phone like every 20 minutes for like 2 minutes just to like check it or whatever, but I don't like doing that. I think that it like distracts me and like slows down my brain, so I put it away completely. Like I'm not allowed on my phone when I revise. Okay, I'm gonna have breakfast now. Right, so I'm sat at my desk now. I've got a large glass of water. I think this is so important when you're revising, or all the time. I mean, I'm like always drinking a lot of water, but when you're revising I feel like you need to look after your body, you know. If you get dehydrated, I swear your brain like shuts down and then there's like literally no point revising. So, and then I have my breakfast. I'll show you in a second. I made a smoothie bowl and I'm gonna eat it like as I start revising. Oh, I'm just so not in the mood for this. Okay. So I have open the maths paper that I'm going to be doing. This is my breakfast. It doesn't look the best because like who cares about presentation? No one's going to see it apart from all of you, but yeah. And then I started this paper yesterday, so I've got what I've been doing all ready for it. And then this is actually an open book exam, so I have my textbook ready to go. If you can, obviously it's best to do papers like in one chunk, not like separated up, but these papers are 3 hours long and I can't revise for 3 hours with no like distractions or anything. You should practice that because that's what's going to be in the real thing and that's what all of the lecturers have said, but honestly it just makes me really tired. Like I'll probably do it once, but I don't want to do it a lot of times because it's really tiring. I'm going to sit and do it for 2 hours right now, so that's almost 3. But yeah, if you can, I'd say practice them like in the full length, especially if you're at GCSE and A-level because they aren't that long and you can definitely hack that. I also do listen to music just because I think it makes the revision process a bit more enjoyable and I'm more likely to sit here and revise if I've got music, like make it a bit more fun. Yeah, if you get distracted by music, which I used to, I've kind of trained my brain to like not get distracted by it now, but you could listen to classical music, or if you don't like classical music so much, there's playlists of like radio music but without the words, like acoustic, whatever, that sort of thing could be good. I feel like it livens it up a bit. because sitting here for 2 hours doing this paper like is boring as hell. So I also have a clock there which is turned around, and then I put a little post-it note over the time on my laptop because I don't like personally knowing the time when I'm revising. If I'm looking up at it every like 10 minutes, then that's gonna make it feel really slow, but I can normally go at least an hour without checking the time this way, and that kind of, I don't know, I don't want to like keep looking at it. But again, if you are doing the paper in the like actual time limit and all of that sort of thing, you probably do want the time because it will help you, like that's kind of like practicing the real exam, but it's just really painful, so I don't do that. So now I'm gonna start revising. It's 9 a.m. and I'm gonna stop at 11, kind of like no matter where I'm at. I'm gonna talk a bit about that later, but this is gonna be like 1 second for you but 2 painful hours for me, so see you in a second. So I finished the 2 hours of the revision that I was doing, and I only just finished that paper, so I'm gonna mark it in the next session. I'm having a 2-hour break. I like to have really long breaks because if I only have like a 10-minute break, I won't go back to the revision. Like I need like such a long break to like re-energize. I think because I don't like go on my phone or anything, it's like very intense, so I have long breaks basically. So I revise 9 to 11, 1 to 3, 5 to 7. So it takes me like 10 hours to do 6 hours of revision, but I mean, I think that's fine. For me, that's like worth it. I'll actually be productive during that time. Like I just said, that's how I revise, like the 2-hour slots and then 2-hour break, 2-hour slot, 2-hour break, 2-hour slot. I've done so many other ways though, like where you revise like your school timetable or whatever with like little breaks, and like you have lunch and break and like stuff as you would at school. That could be a good method, like try it out. I don't know, it didn't work for me because I need a lot of breaks, so yeah, I just got really tired doing that, but it could work. Or you can just do the kind of like hour on, 15 minutes off, like that could work as well. Again, that didn't work for me because I need a lot of breaks. Feeling a bit deflated. I don't think that paper went very well. I haven't even marked it yet, but I kind of know that it wasn't very good. That's annoying, but I'm gonna try and do another one today. Hopefully that one will be better. I'm gonna watch Friends now, and I'll probably talk to you again like when I start revising. Okay, so it's now like 5 p.m. So I did another lot of 2 hours of revision and then another 2-hour break, and I'm about to start in like 5 minutes. It's like 5 to 5 with the last 2 hours, and yeah. Honestly, I always feel like the first 2 are the worst, and then it gets easier. I don't like revising when I feel like I have so much left to do. Like in the morning when you're revising, you know you have another 6 hours to do. That's rough. Now it's like only 2 more, so sometimes I'll cut it to like 5 hours so I feel like accomplished from the day. Like if I feel like I've done a lot and I'm like tired, and sometimes it's better to rest than to like do loads of hours. So I think today I'll probably do 2 because my exam is on Monday. That paper that I said I did badly in, I did do badly in, but like it wasn't as bad as I thought. I did pass it, so I mean that's a start, but it's not great. So my revision like technique is basically I have flashcards. For maths is a bit different because it's not really like recall, but for subjects with recall I have flashcards. So I have loads more of these. So it's like a question and an answer. They're not like full of writing, it's just like question, answer. So sometimes I'll say like a question and then I have like 5 points, and I feel like this is the best way for me to learn like facts, because if I just read them or rewrite them, like I don't know if I know them. Yeah, I use these a lot in A-level and GCSE, especially with like biology and chemistry. So it's just like things that you have to, like facts you have to know. So I use these for that. That's kind of like my first point. Like first thing I try and do is learn the content. Then the second thing is to like start practicing. So normally I'll do like textbook questions or questions like at uni we have like workshops, so I do those questions. That again, the questions in the textbook, they give us like question to practice with and stuff as well. So I do those next. And at school I would do like the textbook questions, and if you buy the CGP guides you can do the questions in those as well, which is like handy. But side note, I wouldn't recommend the CGP guides as like a replacement for your textbook at all. Like they don't have all the information, and like you need all the information. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like they're good to like as a starting point, or maybe like throughout the year when you're like just looking over stuff and you want like a little overview. But when it comes to the actual exam, like and you want to know, you do want to like know everything, or like at least have it all in front of you like when you're revising. They are good in addition, but I definitely wouldn't rely heavily on them. Sometimes it's good like if the textbook explains something not that well or you don't really get it, to read it in there because sometimes they explain it better, but sometimes it's not even in there because they don't have all the content. So but once I've done questions and all of that, and I feel like I kind of like getting a grasp of like the content, then I will start doing papers. So I always do them like closed book. I don't use like the answers or a textbook if I'm not gonna have one in the exam. I don't look stuff up online or anything. Like I feel like there's no point doing them really if you're gonna like cheat. It's better for you if you actually do them like as if it was the exam. And I try to get to a point where I kind of know the content well enough that I can at least attempt most of the questions before I start doing past papers. Like if you just start doing papers before you've revised, you probably won't know like the answers, and you're gonna want to like look stuff up and like look in the textbook and stuff, and that's just kind of like showing you that you're not ready to do them yet. So I try my best to be like ready to at least like attempt all the questions or like make educated guesses before I start papers. So then I do my papers and then I mark them from the mark scheme or whatever we were given to mark them from. I always make sure to like write out the actual answer when you're doing past papers. Like don't just tick and cross if you got it right, obviously. Just like go through what it is, and you want to be in a position where if they ask the same question again with like a different number or something, then you would be able to do it perfectly. Honestly, if you're going to do a paper and not go through like all the answers properly, there's literally no point in you doing it. That's kind of like the whole process, and I continue to do the flashcards throughout this whole thing, like especially like the night before an exam or morning of if it's an afternoon exam. I like going through the flashcards. Obviously for maths I don't really have flashcards. I actually don't really need to do any recall because I'm allowed, it's an open book exam this year, so I can take in whatever I want, so I don't need to really learn anything off by heart. So basically I'm just practicing for maths. So I have 2 hours left of revision and then I'm free for today. I'm tired. I also just wanted to say, like, if you have your exams coming up, which I think most people do, I think the first GCSEs are in like 2 weeks maybe, and then A-levels are not for a while. But a lot of you like university exams coming up in the next few weeks as well. So I want to say good luck. Just stay motivated and like just do your best. I feel like the best motivation is like, I always think like this is just like a temporary stage of life, like it's not forever. I just need to revise for like, you know, especially now we're at this point, like there's only a few months, there's only like a couple months, for me only a couple weeks left of this like revision, working all the time stuff, and you are rewarded with like summer. Yeah, I feel like that's the motivation. Just remember that it's not forever, and it's like it will be worth it when you get your results and you're like proud of yourself. And I wish you the best of luck. If you have exams, I'm sure you're gonna do great. So I'm gonna do these 2 hours of revision, and then I probably will, like, I don't know, then nothing's gonna happen after that. So I think I'll just end the video here. I hope that this was like useful in some way. I don't know if it was, but yeah, you can tell me if you thought it was good. I'm going back to uni tomorrow actually, and then my exam is on Monday. So as you're watching this, I think my exam is like the day this is going up or the day after, so fingers crossed for me. So next week's video, I think I'm gonna do like how I prepare like the night before, like last minute, and like how I get ready like for the exam and stuff. So if you want to see that video, subscribe. That will be up on Sunday. This video might be one day up late just because I have this exam on a Monday and normally I upload on Sunday, so it's like not a good time. But yeah, so I love you all very much. Thank you for coming with me on this revision day. I hope you enjoyed it because I didn't. But yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.